the choir and it sounds great. It's just.
I just keep it quiet. And
Yeah,
then
keep
when
it
it's
quiet,
like
but can you sing loudly?
The singing will take priority. If I feel like the singing needs to
Okay.
be, I'll just come in.
Is it better just to do one drum?
That's what I'm doing because I wasn't sure.
The high-low, I know. I don't think it. Let's just do one drum. We'll keep you singing, Bill.
Okay,
We'll tell her.
I can sing some and turn pages. I mean,
Oh!
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, where do you want us?
We'll just figure out how to stand.
Yeah, where do you want us?
So you could be the window here, and then Ghoul, and then.
Yeah, cool. And then
Oh, what if we just did a straight line? Yeah, because we don't have 8 people. Like a line and a line. Yeah, let's try that. Can we see if did you get in there?
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you. I struggle a little bit.
Okay, Bill, could you come in on this other side of it? Well, the thing is, Ghoul needs to be next to, so I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work out because Ghoul and Julianne.
Put Ghoul there, next to the piano.
Yes, we could do that too and put you on the edge maybe.
And then Bill here.
Or you there, Bill there. We'll just swap the windows. So can you come here, Bill, behind Julianne, and then Ghoul, you'll be next to Julianne here. Does that work? Bill, probably, let's just do a straight line. Let's come over Ghoul, and then Bill, you'll come on the other side of Bill. I think this will be better. And then when y'all come over, just do a straight line. We're going to try to see if we can
Yeah,
get
I'm
this
gonna do the drum part and Phil's
Yeah,
gonna
straight line. Let's do it where.
I probably will lay out the drum, lay off the drum, except right at the very beginning, and then I'll bring it in later when things get out.
Yeah. I only put y'all over here because of the switch, but really I would have preferred y'all over here. I don't know if you were seeing, yeah. Okay, can we sing? Do you have any questions?
And he says, can we sing? I don't know quite what he means. Does he want us to sing this?
What's my time? We gotta go sit down.
It's gonna be fun.
Here's your mom. Bill?
Oh, I put it down over there to work with the drum.
Thank you for your time.
Things are changing.
We're gonna do one straight line on this side now.
Okay. We have been thusly informed.
Good morning. And welcome to Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm AJ Juraska, and I use they, them pronouns. Thank you for joining us, we who bring a teaching of hope, we who bring a saving message, who welcome all in our doors, Taoists and Hindus, atheists and pagans, straight, gay, lesbian, and bisexual, cisgender, transgender, non-binary, and intersex, all who are searching, seeking, looking for more meaning, more service, more love, all of us gathered here together. I invite you to put your smartphone on worship mode, which means it won't make any sounds, but you can still post on social media and share a little bit about your experience with those who can't be with us this morning, maybe even an invitation to join you here next week. Now please rise in either body or spirit and join us in singing Gathering Hymn number 1, May Nothing Evil Cross This Door, and remain standing for our chalice lighting.
Thank you. by Benson and Finley. This is a congregation bound not by creed, but by covenant. May those in agreement affirm our church covenant now. We affirm a caring community of and for all ages, seeking wisdom, doing service, and living with integrity. In our diversity, our covenant holds us in unity as we celebrate our shared spiritual journey. Thank you. Hi, my name is Lindy Dower. Oh, you may sit now, thank you. My pronouns are she, her. One thing I particularly love about this church is that we are a welcoming congregation, which means we are inclusive of people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, as AJ stated. I'd like to welcome any guests we have today. Thank you for taking a chance to walk through our doors and join us for worship. If this is your first time here, please stop by the visitors table so we can meet you and answer any questions you might have. This is a church that is buzzing 7 days a week. The definitive way to keep up with what's happening is through our weekly email newsletter, and you can sign up for it at the visitors table. Live Oak has many ways for you to connect with our beloved community beyond Sunday. Opportunities are shared on our website, our newsletter. One event that's happening this week here at the church is our community sack lunch on Wednesdays, this week it'll be February 26th from noon to 1:30 in the fellowship hall, and everyone is welcome. I also want to mention that I'm pretty sure you all remember recently we had the thank you. Just went out of my head. Stolen Lives t-shirt display, and those are now headed to the Capitol. This Thursday is the big display at the Capitol. It's also lobby day for gun reform, and there's going to be like 4,000 t-shirts on the south lawn on the Capitol, and we're all welcome to go and support gun reform this Thursday. Today's call to worship comes from Thich Nhat Hanh, who used the term interbeing to express our interconnectedness with all things. He said, interbeing is the understanding that nothing exists separately from anything else. We are all connected. By taking care of another person, you take care of yourself. By taking care of yourself, you take care of the other person.
Each Sunday, when we gather as a congregation, we bring our joys and sorrows into the room. When we ask for remembrance or celebration or prayer or thoughts, we make of this sanctuary a sacred circle. Danya says, very proud of the student-led movement that is happening in Serbia against the current corruption in our government. Serbian students have been nominated for a Nobel Prize for Peace. Change is possible. Sabrina says, I am having a cardiac procedure done tomorrow. If y'all could keep me in your thoughts, I would greatly appreciate it. For all the joys and sorrows, spoken and unspoken, we bear witness with our care and concern. Now please join me in singing.
Thank you.
please rise as you are willing and able for hymn number 1012, When I Am Frightened.
I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, and bingo is his name. Oh, guess what we're going to do? We're going to play bingo. I need some helpers. Can I get some helpers to pass out our bingo cards? Come on up. Come on up. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. Come on up. Everybody gets one. And don't forget the choir. Thank you. Thank you. There are baskets at the end of the aisles with pens. Here you go, ma'am. Here you go. Make sure. Oh, may I have one? Thank you. All right, and get a pen. Now, here's the thing. Today, we're talking about getting to know each other. Getting to know you. Your goal is, one, you have to stand up and move around the sanctuary. You are to find someone who can initial your square. So if I can find someone who can whistle a tune. Can you whistle a tune? Can you whistle a tune? Can you whistle a tune? Whoop, I would get this young person right here to initial my card. Here, take all those. So, you're going to find, and you cannot have the same person sign all of your squares. It has to be different people. So, if you're not, if you need to remain seated, just stay in your seat and just raise your hand and people can come to you. So remember, the goal is to fill your whole card. Everybody stand up if you can, and you're willing, and get a pen and start finding your bingo card. Look for the baskets for your pen. Don't forget you got a whole choir up here. And you can just ask a person a question? What now? Okay, I'll take those. Now you're going to have to move around the room. You're going to have to talk to people of all ages. First and last name.
What?
I know Spider-Man's name.
Oh, wow. Can I get you?
It's Peter Parker.
Peter Parker picked us. Okay.
Which me? Ask me a question. Huh? I do like Bluey. Want me to sign it? You gotta get you a new pen. Go find another pen. Yeah. Do you like hot chocolate? No. I can do that one. Oh, okay. What is it? Peter Parker. Thank you. Because Jackie didn't. No, it was AJ. Oh. Peter Parker.
I know.
You have 1 minute. 1 minute. 30 seconds. Twenty seconds. And we're going to count down. B, I, N, G, O. And now we're going to find our seats. We're going to start finding our seats. We're kind of getting settled a little bit here. Woo, all that excitement. We're going to ask all the people in the narthex to come back into the sanctuary. Y'all ever heard the joke about trying to round up UUs? It's like trying to herd cats. Meow. Come on back in. We almost got everybody. Almost. I love that people are so engaged that it's hard to come back into this space. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you spoke to someone today you've never spoken to before? Look around the room. How many of you learned something about someone that you already knew? What was the most surprising thing you learned about someone today? Now I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. I'm not going to ask you to share their name, but what's the most surprising thing you learned about someone today? Someone born in the same month. Nice. Yes.
Someone that doesn't know Spider-Man's real name.
Someone who does not know Spider-Man's real name. It's Peter Parker, people. Peter Parker. Anybody else want to share? Something surprising they learned today? Ooh, someone that can roll their R's. Very good. Now I wonder what would happen to our community if every single week, when every single time that we are all together in community, if we were to reach out and learn something new or to share something new about ourselves with others. Sometimes it makes you vulnerable. It always makes a stronger community. And with that, our activity is done. Thank you.
Good morning. Before we sing our song, I just wanted to explain a little bit about it because it is in a different language. It is in Arabic, but it is also in English. Some of the Arabic that we sing, I'm just going to say it and I will translate for you. Naftahu atanana, alhamdulillah. Naftahu kulubana, alhamdulillah. Namadu ediyana, alhamdulillah. And that just translates to we open our minds, alleluia. We open our hearts, alleluia. We reach out our hands, alleluia. And alhamdulillah is a very common expression in Arabic. It's meant to verbalize joy or gratitude. And in this song, the juxtaposition with English and Arabic is intended to talk about the universality of language and the message of hands are knocking. We will say, you'll hear at some point in the song kind of what we're singing about. But I think this is a perfect song for these times. Okay, I'll get started. Let's go.
I loved that. Our reading today is A Holy Alchemy by Kim Mason. In a dark room, white-hot molten metal is poured from a crucible into a mold. We see leather-clad arms holding a long-handled tool to help guide the flow. Once upon a time, chemists believed they could transform lead into gold or death into life. We laugh, but are we not also in the business of alchemy? Turning loneliness into connection, pain into comfort, anger into solidarity, faith into action. The subtle magic of the church combines love with justice, creates hope out of fear, transforms individuals into community. Here we engage in a holy alchemy, finding beauty in the ordinary and life in the present. Come, let us be transformed together.
Our reading today talks about the subtle magic of church and how it can transform individuals into community. This is important now more than ever. Half of all U.S. adults report being lonely, and lacking social connection is as bad for your lifespan as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So what do we do about this? Well, another thing that we know is that totalitarianism is organized loneliness. Excuse me. Totalitarianism takes advantage of people who are feeling lonely and socially isolated and promises them a better future. Sound familiar? Oh. Additionally, Maria Popova, a blogger and critic, said, "Our insistence on belonging, community, and human connection is one of the greatest acts of courage and resistance in the face of oppression. Here in this community, we can create alchemy by changing loneliness into social connection. And in doing so, we can improve our health outcomes and resist totalitarianism." So how do we do this? Well, Terry Gross, NPR host of Fresh Air, says it only takes 4 words. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. So in the coffee hour after service, I encourage you to go up to someone you want to get to know better and ask them to tell you about themselves. As your new intern minister, I'll go first by telling you a little bit about myself. I am married to a straight cis white man named Chris. He's a special ed teacher at an elementary school. And we met when I was 20 and he was 21, which will have been 20 years ago in October. Thank you. We love gaming together and traveling, and we've traveled all over the US and the world, including to Italy, Spain, Belize, Big Bend, and Nepal, and more. We have 2 dogs. We have Grog, who's a Great Dane Husky mix, who's 4 years old, and it's named after a Dungeons & Dragons character. And we have Marcus, who came to us with his name, and he's a 3.5-year-old Goofy pit bull mix. Here's a sense of size of the dogs. Yeah. So another way to get to know people at church is to ask them how they came to this church and to Unitarian Universalism, or were they always UU? In my case, I grew up in a progressive Christian church just north of Chicago. It was the kind of place where you could come and be of any denomination and your beliefs were welcome there. And we called ourselves non-denominational, and when I moved south, I learned that non-denominational meant something a little different. I loved my upbringing in this church. We were encouraged to explore our beliefs, and we learned about world religions in 7th grade. When I left high school, I looked for a similar church in the other cities that I moved to and just didn't find something that was quite the same. So I got away from church for a number of years. And much later, I had a babysitter when I was little who ended up becoming a Unitarian Universalist minister. Her name is Reverend Eileen, and she was like a third parent to me. And I reached out to her to say, what is this Unitarian Universalist thing, and how do I actually attend a church? And it turns out the way you attend a Unitarian Universalist church is you walk in the door, exactly. I don't know why I thought that was so complicated, but I did. And I was glad to hear that there would be greeters, and I'm so glad we have wonderful greeters here to welcome people into this church. So I started attending Wildflower Church in South Austin, and Chris and I attended for about 6 months before taking a break. And then we rejoined at First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin during the pandemic online. So you may wonder, how did I get from not knowing how to walk into a church to standing up here as your intern minister? And that's another great thing to ask people, is about their vocation. Not necessarily what they do for a living, but what they're passionate about or love and why. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I came to be here. So Chris and I tried to have kids for many years, and we tried fertility treatments, and ultimately were told that the best way for us to have a baby would be to do egg donation, which is a wonderful option, but we realized that what we really wanted to do was adopt through the foster care system. So we went through the very long process of training and getting our house ready and having people come in our house to do fire inspections and check to make sure that our medications were double locked and all sorts of things like that. And after getting through that process, we matched with 2 kids in fall of 2020. Yes, at the height of the COVID pandemic. They were 6 and 7, and they moved into our house on December 29th, 2020. It was wonderful having a house full of children and toys and books, and I fell in love with these children. And I'm not going to say much more because I feel like this is their story to tell, and I want to be careful not to tell their story. But what I will say is, if they ever watch this, I love them very much, and I loved them then and I love them now. And as you may have figured out, they're no longer with us. They left for a variety of complex reasons on April 1st, 2021. And we went from a house full of books and toys to empty bedrooms and empty hearts. So that led to the biggest grief in my life. And I had a lot of questions. I had questions about why bad things happen to kids. And we had to put our dog down 2 weeks later, and so I had questions about what happened to my dog, if anything, and how to cope with that. And those were questions that, while therapy was very helpful, it didn't really have the power to answer. So I was so grateful for First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin because it provided a place to answer some of these spiritual questions, or at least try. So I joined a couple of spiritual groups at First UU, including Wellspring, which I highly recommend if you haven't been through it. And I got a spiritual director who focuses on eco-grief and helped me walk through the journey of grief and answer these spiritual questions. And at the year anniversary of the kids leaving, when I was having a really hard time, a dad reached out to me who had lost his daughter at the age of 16. And he just knew the right questions to ask and what to say to me. And one of the things he said to me was, you can get to more acceptance, but the way to do that is through incorporating this into your story and what you do. And so I started thinking about that, and at the time I was the director of analytics for a nonprofit, and I'd been doing that for a decade, and I was a little burnt out. And I started realizing that what I really wanted to do was just sit with people who are grieving, and specifically parents who are grieving, because it's a club no one wants to be in, but you sure don't want to be the only one. So I learned about chaplaincy, and that sounded like a wonderful option for me. And then I learned about my Reverend Eileen, who I mentioned earlier, told me that she loved being a minister of a church because she got to give sermons, she got to do the social justice work, and she still got to do the pastoral care piece. And that sounded great. So I learned that in order to become a minister of a church or a chaplain, you have to get your master's in divinity, and I applied to Austin Presbyterian Theological Seminary, which I've been attending for 1.5 years out of a 3-year program. And now I'm your intern minister, and I'm so glad to be here. So we've talked about a lot of serious stuff. Uh-oh, I just gave something away. We talked about a lot of serious stuff, but I promised games, and we played bingo, so that's one game, but another game is 2 truths and a lie. So I'm going to tell you 2 things that are true about me and 1 thing that's a lie, and you're going to have to guess what the lie is. So here are the 3 things. I played ice hockey and was on a championship ice hockey team in high school, I played lacrosse and was not very good at that in college. I was on a roller derby team that was a championship roller derby team in my late 20s and early 30s. All right, so I'll say those again and raise your hands when you think I've gotten to the lie. So the first one is I was on a championship ice hockey team in high school. Who thinks that was the lie? The second thing is I was on a not very good lacrosse team in college. Who thinks that was the lie? The third thing is I was on a championship roller derby team in my late 20s and early 30s. Who thinks that was the lie? Okay. So as I gave away, I was on a championship ice hockey team in high school. And what was cool about it is I was not very good. I only made the team because they needed more skaters. But the neat thing is we were the first girls state championship team in Illinois. So, and I got to skate, thank you, yeah. I got to skate for a whole minute because we were winning and we weren't likely to lose at that point. So, yeah. And then the lie was about lacrosse in college, as many of you guessed. I actually played rugby in college, which is partly how I got to know my husband. He was on the men's rugby team, and we both played the same position, a lock, if you know what rugby is. And actually, I got that position because I was the slowest runner on the team. And then I did play roller derby in my late 20s and early 30s, and I won the league championship with my team, the Cherry Bombs, and I skated as Bendy Davis because I moved here on the day of Wendy Davis's filibuster, and I skated a bit like Gumby, and so Gumby's not as intimidating as a state senator, so we got the name Bendy Davis instead, and I got to give Wendy Davis an award at the championship game called the Be Your Own Hero Award, which was an ode to Whip It, which is a roller derby movie. So in conclusion, Carl Jung says, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. Here in this church, let's communicate the things that are important to us. And together, we can create the subtle magic of turning isolation into social connectedness. Thanks so much. So now we'll take some time in words and in silence, and we'll practice a meditation technique called metta, which is also known as loving kindness. And it's a thing that I would do with our foster daughter every night before going to bed. So take a minute to settle yourself in your seat, get comfortable. Close your eyes or get a soft gaze in front of you. And we're going to talk about sending loving kindness to ourselves and to someone that we care about. So we'll start with ourselves, and I'm going to say some phrases, and you can repeat them in your mind as I say them. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now we're going to think about someone we care about. It could be someone in this room, or it could be a friend, a partner, a family member, or a pet. And thinking about that someone, let's send loving kindness to that person or animal. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease.
We are the tradition of the Free Church. Our church and our community outreach are supported not from an outside source, but from within. We invite you to make a financial contribution to help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large or small, is appreciated and carefully used in service to our mission. The QR code or text information for donations is available in the back of your seat pocket. If you would like to donate by credit card, Apple, or Google Pay, someone from stewardship can assist you near the kitchen after the service. As the ushers come forward to receive the offering, I invite you to say these words with me. We are building beloved community within our labor and within our treasure. With gratitude, we receive the offering. May it help to fulfill our mission in the world.
May you remember that you are loved, and may you share that love with others so that together we can build a connected, beloved community.
Good morning. This is your invitation to the Faith Development Hour. Our nursery is open till 12:30 today. The children's choir is meeting in room 205 upstairs. We have drumming circle for all ages, the whole church in the Common Ground building. We have AV sound training, if you're interested in doing the AV sound training, and you know that whole thing of hashtag save Eileen. You'll meet at the sound desk. And if you prefer conversation, I invite you to join Betty at our table connections in the fellowship hall to engage in the conversation around today's sermon. And whatever you choose, I invite you to get connected in this welcoming and warm community as we work together to empower dreams, encourage growth, and embrace joy. There's a place for you here. And talking about embracing joy, we have a special person to come up and speak to us this morning. I'd like to invite James Dean to come up to talk about something that we are in collaboration with.
Thank you all. You all collaborate with Leander Pride and Cedar Park Pride about a lot of things. You host our youth and family meetups right here on Saturdays at 2 o'clock on the second Saturday of the month. But we are bringing back our community carnival. That's going to be our Pride Festival this year. Will be Saturday, March 29th from approximately 12 until 5. And for us to pull that event together, we're so happy that you are willing to host us. But we need tons of people to volunteer to help out at the event. We need people that will take the stage and show your wonderful talents, whether it's singing, dancing, juggling, whatever it may be. We're open to lots of wonderful, wonderful things. But again, we appreciate Live Oak. We appreciate that you're lifting up social justice and inclusion in our community. And Leander Pride and Cedar Park Pride are happy to be a part of that. Thank you so much.
If you haven't been to our the carnival that we had last time with Cedar Park and Leander, it's a lot of fun. Volunteering is fun, so yeah, thanks. Okay, now. Oh, well, of course.
Obviously, I should have put something in the newsletter, but I just forgot. After the service, also, we're going to have a restart of the safety team. So if you're interested in safety, please join me in room 105, 107. Thank you.
I invite you to rise for our closing hymn, number 414, as we leave this friendly place. Please remain standing for extinguishing our chalice. I need Benson and Finley to extinguish the chalice. Let us say these words to each other. We extinguish the flame here that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path until we, may it guide your way until we are together again. Good job, thank you. It has been a gift to be together today. Thank you to the home team who provided hospitality and worship and tech leadership. Judy Conley, Lydia Fitzmaurice, Christina Donna, Nancy Sheehy, Chris Sutterby, Louise Bogner, and David at the soundboard. Let's continue this hospitality by spending the next 5 minutes talking with someone you don't yet know. Members, be sure to introduce yourself to any first-time visitors. They're the ones with the handwritten name tags. And show them where the visitors table and the coffee are. And may we all know the blessings of fellowship.